Okay, so let's give you a few little tricks and pointers on how to identify a thief based on their own behaviors. So I'm sure you've all shown houses to couples before. And I'm sure you've all had them separate, right? Where the man goes off and the woman stays with you. If that happens, right, where the man goes off on loan and the woman stays with you, the way you can tell if the man is off stealing or preparing the house for them to come back later, it's very simple. At that point, the woman's job is to keep you occupied. So if I'm a woman, how do I keep a man occupied? How do I keep their attention? Well, that's simple. We all know that, right? She becomes even just a little bit flirtatious. Now, if I'm a woman and I want to hold another woman's attention, that's different. In that case, the way a woman holds another woman's attention, because you got to remember she has to play the odds, okay? The way a woman holds another woman's attention, very simply, is what she does is she goes ahead and she starts complaining about her husband, almost in a very teasing, somewhat loving kind of way. You know, oh, yeah, he thinks he's just going to go upstairs and do this or do that or whatever. Okay? So she's complaining and she's kind of making fun of him because that's the simplest way and the surest way for a woman to keep another woman's attention for a few minutes. Let's talk about some other things that you might see when you're showing to a single as opposed to a couple that could indicate that the individual that you're showing that home to is a thief. Okay? First of all, it's something we call the dust check. Did you ever show a home to somebody you thought was just an absolute neat freak, right? And they do that little dust check? Did you ever see them dust check a window? They're not dust checking the window, they're unlocking it. If you ever see somebody do that, make sure to come back into the home after the showing and make sure everything is locked up. So, also, notice if your person is paying an unusual amount of attention to things like windows and doors, so on and so forth, especially if they are previewing the outside of the house. Take notice if they are taking a picture from the back side of the room towards the front door. That's kind of abnormal. Usually people take a picture, if they're going to take a picture of the house, right, of different rooms, when it's the first room that they walk into, when it's that, coming in through that front door, usually they take a picture of the view that you get when you walk into the front door. They don't usually take a picture from the other side of the room looking back towards the front door. But if the home has an alarm and they're taking a picture from the back of the room looking towards the front door, more than likely what they're doing is getting a picture of the alarm pad so that they can go back, do a little research, get the make, the model number, or the product family, so on and so forth, do some research, figure out how to disarm that alarm when they come back. Okay? So you're looking for these behaviors that are kind of out of the norm, but would be associated with entering the house alone later. Also, pay attention to if they're asking questions about alarms, if they're asking questions about dogs, cameras, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Now, it's not like they're just going to come right out and ask. They're going to weave these things into normal conversation. But think about it, if you hear questions about a dog, camera, and alarm, there is a very, very high likelihood that person is planning on coming back and burglarizing the home later. So pay attention to those things. These are sort of little tips and tricks you can use to identify a thief based on their own behavior.